Barack Obama's push for diplomacy with Iran over its nuclear program has failed to quell talk of a pending military confrontation. Statements from America's top defense officials suggest a strike is in the planning stages and could use a type of bomb never seen before. NeoCons Anastasia Chukina reports. It looks as though history may be poised to repeat itself.
Can you come out of the water for it? There you go.
Fish are a popular pet among U.S. war veterans like Mathis Chereau, soothing the nerves of some of the roughly 170,000 American soldiers suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder.
The U.S. Army flag has 183 campaign ribbons on it. Those 183 ribbons each represent wars. When you compare that to the 236 years that we've actually been around as a country, you're talking about, a war on average of once every year and 3 months.
Serving Americans are on permanent standby to deploy to carry out warfare on command, as the U.S. has a bone to pick with one enemy after the other. From the Soviet Union,
and the communist threat was the most useful enemy, where legitimate and where completely fantastical, it was always available as a global conspiracy against which to justify anything.
To smaller antagonists after the Cold War, the list keeps expanding.
Allied air forces began an attack on military targets in Iraq and Kuwait.
Airstrikes against Serbian forces.
Our war on terror begins with Al-Qaeda.
Striking selected targets of military importance to undermine Saddam Hussein's ability to wage war.
We hit Gaddafi's air defenses.
With a defense budget that surpasses the military expenditure of all other countries combined, no other nation drums up war as consistently as America.
And while people are still responding and recovering from the violence that's committed in one place or even in the same place, we're launching new operations and more atrocities in different parts of the world.
The military-industrial complex worth billions of dollars is largely America's driving force. Deeply rooted in the system, it would serve no purpose if there was no one to fight.
If there were no more enemies left, there would be a loss of a sense of mission.
A frightening thought to many, as this would reveal the economic, social, and cultural emptiness at home.
I thought Europe was a country.
When there are no enemies,
Putin trying to put together the evil empire again.
Do in Syria what we're doing now in Libya?
We've got to overthrow this guy.
The threat that Iran poses us.
Year in and year out, Americans are convinced that the U.S. has to remain on the defense.
We're petrified of death by terrorism. So, shoot, I think a lot of Americans wish we'd spent more money on war.
Finding the next target is never difficult.
We are inventing the nation of Iran as an enemy, as a threat to the United States, as a possessor of nuclear weapons it does not possess, a nation that has not attacked another in literally centuries and has no capability or desire to attack ours.
What country do you think the U.S. might start a war with next?
Iran.
Iran is the one.
Iran. It should be Iran.
The U.S. has been picking and choosing which countries to intervene in for centuries. As the list of nations that America loves to hate expands, the concept that no war at all is also an option seems to have been forgotten. Anastasia Chukina, RT, New York.